Bernard Arnault, billionaire French entrepreneur. You won't believe how he made all his money. Bernard Jean-Étienne Arnault, the face behind the world's largest luxury goods company. Although many people may be unaware of who he is or what he looks like, there's no doubt about his company's success. As the richest man in France and the current third richest person on the planet, Bernard Arnault is a name that stands out. The luxury brand chairman once rose to the #1 spot in 2021 as the richest man in the world. But since then, we've seen him hover from 4th, 3rd, and 2nd positions. And so in this video, we look at the life and business of the French billionaire Bernard Arnault. Who is Bernard Arnault? The French billionaire is the chairman and CEO of LVMH and chairman of Christian Dior SE. He's also a renowned investor and art collector. LVMH, Moët Hennessy Louis Vuitton SE, was brought about by the merger of the fashion house Louis Vuitton, champagne producer Moët and Chandon, and cognac producer Hennessy. The company is headquartered in Paris, France. This powerhouse merger was the beginning of success for the French billionaire. The company LVMH, with its $329 billion value in 2021, was named the most valuable company in all of Europe in that year. The company deals in luxury products including clothing, fashion accessories, jewelry, spirits, cosmetics, wines, perfumes, and watches. The company boasts a total staff of about 150,000 worldwide. LVMH acts as the parent company for several of its subsidiaries that run its products. There are around 60 subsidiaries that each manage a small number of prestigious brands, 75 in total. Some of the LVMH notable luxury brands are Christian Dior, Fendi, Givenchy, Marc Jacobs, Stella McCartney, Loewe, Loro Piana, Kenzo, Celine, Sephora, Princess Yachts, Tag Heuer, Bulgari, and Tiffany & Company. But how does a man get to own a company that produces products for the rich and super wealthy? The early life of Bernard Arnault. The 73-year-old billionaire was born on March 5, 1949, in Roubaix, France. His mother was the daughter of Etienne Savinel, and Arnault is reported to have mentioned his mother's fascination for Dior. His father, Jean-Léon Arnault, was a manufacturer and owned the civil engineering company Foray Savinel. For Arnault, life as a businessman started with working in his father's company. And so at 22, Arnault began his professional career at Foray Savinel. He would become president of the company 7 years later in 1978 and stay at the helm of affairs until 1984. After that, Arnault began to think of ways to create a company that produced luxury goods. His thinking and out-of-the-box approach to business would set him up to be the billionaire he is today. Life as a businessman. Arnault saw an opportunity to own the Boussac Son Frère empire in 1984 and wasn't going to pass on it. At the time, the Boussac Son Frère empire was a textile and retail conglomerate that owned Christian Dior. So when Arnault heard the French government was getting ready to give away the empire for a private business to manage, he was convinced he needed to make the acquisition. However, the young real estate developer couldn't just go out to bid for it. To better position himself, he solicited the help of Antoine Bernheim and first acquired the luxury goods company Financière Agache. With this company, he got the winning bid for the Boussac Son Frère for 1 franc. As the owner of the Boussac Son Frère empire, the purchase also came along with the retail shop Conforama, Le Bon Marché, and Peau-Douce. With the empire's heavy financial woes, Arnault decided it was best to sell off most of its assets. This led to the laying off of about 9,000 workers, but eventually settled to keep Christian Dior and the Le Bon Marché department store. The merger and acquisition of LVMH. With Christian Dior and Le Bon Marché becoming a success, Arnault understood that for his quest to own a group of luxury brands, he had to work with others. This brought about a merger between Alain Chevalier, CEO of Moët Hennessy, and Henri Recamier, president of Louis Vuitton, to form LVMH in 1987. To solidify his position in the newly formed LVMH, Arnault provided $1.5 billion to form a holding company with Guinness that held 24% of LVMH's shares. Then rumors started to circulate that Henri Recamier of Louis Vuitton was on the move to buy a larger LVMH share to form a blocking minority. To avoid things from going awry and losing out on the merger, Arnault had to buy a further 13.5% of LVMH shares with $600 million. Seeing that Henri Recamier was still hell-bent on acquiring a major stake, Arnault coughed up another $500 million to buy more LVMH shares in 1989. With his total share now at 43.5%, he had acquired the blocking minority right and a 35% voting right of the company. This ultimately would give him control to prevent the buyout or disintegration of LVMH as earlier planned by Recamier. It was only a matter of time before Arnault would get Recamier removed from the board of directors. And so on January 13, 1989, Bernard Arnault was unanimously elected the chairman of LVMH's executive management board. The rise of the LVMH empire. As the chairman of LVMH, Bernard Arnault was a man on a mission. He was set to achieve his lifelong dream of creating a group of luxury brands. For the next decade, Arnault led the company to achieve immense success by acquiring different brands and products. From 1989 to 2001, LVMH acquired, merged, or sold some companies, including Swiss luxury giant Richemont, Kering, Celine, Berluti, Kenzo, La Tribune, and Les Echos. It also acquired perfume giant Guerlain, Loewe, Marc Jacobs, Sephora, Thomas Pink, Emilio Pucci, Fendi, DKNY, and La Samaritaine. There was no stopping Arnault. As a matter of fact, in 11 years, annual sales and profits rose by a factor of 5, and the market value of LVMH increased by a factor of 15. However, his quest to either buy out competitors or create a merger was met with resistance when he tried secretly acquiring Gucci in 1999-2000. Knowing Gucci would not readily agree to any bid, Arnault secretly bought a 5% stake in Gucci. It was only a matter of time before the owners of Gucci at the time, Tom Ford and Domenico De Sole, found out. Immediately, Arnault realized it was an open secret and quickly upped his Gucci stake to 34.4%. He went on to reassure the owners that he would only be an unassertive and supportive stakeholder. The back and forth on the terms of share purchase and board position dragged until 2021 and ended with a legal ruling. In the end, Arnault managed to sell his shares and walked away with a profit of $700 million. The next major acquisition will come in 2011, when he bought 50.4% of the family-owned Italian jeweler Bulgari for $5.2 billion. From this period, Arnault would lead LVMH to acquire most of the top brands listed under the company today. But to amass such acquisitions, Arnault and his LVMH had to go through several lawsuits and out-of-court settlements. Bernard Arnault is living proof that being an entrepreneur trying to build an international brand takes vision and ruthless commitment to achieve goals. The road to world's richest person. With all of the luxury brands Arnault and his LVMH company have acquired over the years, it's no surprise the astronomical rise of his fortune as well as that of LVMH. It was how LVMH became the largest company by market capitalization in the Eurozone in 2021. All of these can be attributed to Arnault's decision to ensure the group's brands remain decentralized and independent from the parent company, with each brand pulling its weight. LVMH recorded profits during the pandemic. With more people at home, online shopping was at an all-time high. As a result, share prices for most of the company's brands soared. As such, for the first time on May 24, 2021, Bernard Arnault temporarily surpassed Jeff Bezos to become the richest man in the world. Of course, Jeff Bezos regained the #1 spot a few hours later, but it was enough proof that Bernard Arnault's business decisions had paid off. Since then, as share prices continue to rise, Arnault has stayed in the top 5 positions and would eventually displace Jeff Bezos as the second richest man in the world. Recently, Gautam Adani surpassed him and has left Bernard Arnault as the 3rd richest person in the world. Do you think Bernard Arnault's decision to buy out competitors and initiate mergers was a strategic move or a shot at monopoly? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. Also, if you found this video informative and entertaining, please share it with your friends. And kindly give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more inspiring videos. See you in the next video.